right, welcome back. And this is another episode of My Turn, My Truth, where when it's your turn, you tell
your truth.
All right. Who we going to start with the first topic today, Mom?
You tell us your name.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Boo. I'm a rookie at this. It's your girl, Ken. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at m.kennedii.
I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Marielle.
Dang, they should know
I'm the
us
Rice
by
Man. And
Mata. Y'all should know us by now.
Them 2 fingers be killing me.
just a little. Yeah.
You go straight up.
No, and then you got to do
I'm
that.
trying to do it in the camera. I can't do it way low, but here they ain't gonna see
You
you.
like Zoe, you should do it.
All
All right,
Okay.
welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Like my
right,
sister said,
all right.
I got a little.
It's kind of disorganized today.
Yes. Okay.
What was the fun
Yeah,
fact?
once you call
Fun
it back
fact.
to the world, it sure is.
Yeah. Fun fact. Happy Black History Month.
Yes.
Again, power to the people, power to the people, and the allies. Got another fun fact for y'all. Today we're gonna be talking about George Crumb. That's a funny last name. George Crumb. Born in 1824, passed away in 1914. He was renowned. He was a renowned African American chef who worked in the Moon's Lake House in Saratoga Springs, New York, during the mid 1800s.
I'm sorry.
Crumb invented the potato chip
Oh.
during his work at the restaurant,
So
which spiraled billions of people to eat
That's
potato
awesome.
chips to this day.
So Crumb created crumbs.
Yeah.
Exactly. No pun
Potato
intended.
chips. Okay.
So yeah, shout out to all you big backs. Shout out to George Crumb.
Thank Crumb for it.
Thank Crumb for your crumbs on your face.
Say it, Morgan.
I do appreciate
Big back. Big back. Big back.
It was said that he made a dish and a racist person took it back and said his potatoes were too thick. So he made the potato chip. The thinnest layer of potato you probably can have. So
Wow.
yeah.
Not surprised.
That's real big. That's real big.
All right.
All right.
Big back.
Okay, so we're gonna do that was the Black History lesson for the month. So we're gonna do a little icebreaker before we jump into tonight's subject. We want to talk about all these airplanes falling out the sky.
This is ridiculous.
Mary L is on it today.
Every time I look at Morgan, she just be laughing.
These airplanes, y'all, they're falling out the sky. They're falling on the Potomac in the water. They're going to
Canada.
And Toronto. They're landing, right side up, upside down. I mean, it is pathetic.
Right
Right
side
side
up.
up.
That's a
It's
good
the
thing.
right
You want them to
thing.
land like that.
Yeah.
And I flipped it to upside down.
Okay.
But if they fall
Follow.
right side up, you don't want it to fall right
Okay.
side
I
up.
said landing, right side up, upside down.
I was trying to
But
help
anyways, people, I want to know how y'all feel about flying right about now. Because me personally, I am not flying anywhere. So if I cannot get there by car, I will not be going.
I think it's
Even if it was to Beyonce's concert.
She will have to go to Atlanta, Georgia.
Just kidding.
I just think Mary just threw a shot at my
I'm
mother.
sorry.
No, she family now. I'm proud of Marielle because in the beginning she would not throw any shots.
We wanted her
anywhere.
to. We wanted her
And
to.
we said in order
got
to
one
be a
month.
part of this family, you're gonna have to learn how to fire
We gave her a month.
on everybody because we go fire on you.
5 means
Sure did.
5 means to jank,
Jank.
to jive,
Yeah.
to roast, to all the
You
all
gotta
the
get
old
it in.
people.
You
Yeah,
gotta get it in now.
do.
You gotta get it in now.
But yeah,
Smart.
I don't care about that. I mean, I care about the people who passed away in the plane crash, but I'm not really scared to get on a plane. I've seen worse car accidents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach said, how many so far? I don't know.
I think
It's
been
been
five.
Too
Say
many?
5, yeah.
4 or 5.
it's been more than
No.
enough
More
to
than
notice.
I was say because even
But I think it was I think it was about 5 or so.
I was gonna say it was also including an Air Force
The helicopter
jet.
and
There was a jet too that
Uh-huh.
crashed into something
Yeah.
in the water.
so Mackenzie said he can still make it do what it do.
Yeah,
He
if
go
it's
get
my
on the
time,
plane.
then I've been
Yeah.
praying, so
Yeah. I think if I have somewhere to go that's
I'm gonna get there
further than driving, I have to fly, and
I'm just not gonna have nowhere to go.
I might not be happy about it, but I got to get there.
I'm gonna say my prayer. I'm gonna do that, but. Yeah, I'd rather get on a plane than a cruise.
Nah, y'all.
Still,
y'all
get on a cruise
I
too.
definitely think that
I'd
it'd
rather
be
get
nice
on
if
a
they
cruise
figured out
than a
why.
plane.
Exactly, and I think that's more so my point, Marielle. Is like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Because are these people purposely doing this stuff, or
We know.
Well, it
who's
seems
doing
like it always comes in clusters, anyways. Like when this does happen, and so it's like, okay, well, what's the cause of
Right.
this
We know
cluster?
what the cause is and whose fault it is.
Honestly, I feel like
not going
but I've
there.
been saying this for years. Like every 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years around election time, a little bit after election time, I feel like something kind of sparks something big, whether it's a disease or a crash or something like that, to kind of take the attention off what's really going on in politics and the government. I feel like they're trying to distract us from what's really going
100%.
on with our people and the economy and everything like that. So
Yeah.
it's just like, hey, look, a bird.
I
And
can.
they doing something over here.
The whole deflection.
Yeah,
But
the look away.
Yeah, the big look away.
I definitely can see that too. But when people's lives are involved, then I mean that's kind of a different type scenario. And I know, like COVID, of course, millions and millions of people's lives were involved. But it's, to me, I feel like it's the handling of the situation.
Right, for sure.
So it's like at some point, in some level of authority and responsibility and power, you need to be able to level the situation off and not just let it stay out there chaotic.
What can you do about a plane crash?
It ain't about the plane crash. It's like Marielle said before, discovering what's really going on and having speaking points on that versus you have people in the news that don't know what the heck going on, and people are looking to, whatever source they get their news from, trying to figure out what the crap is going on. And there's like no coverage as far as at a higher level, what are we doing to investigate this?
Sure.
Well, I mean, with plane crashes, of course, they got to find a black box and do a thorough investigation. And when a plane first crashes, you're not going to know what's going on until they finish their investigation.
Correct.
So we're clamoring, what happened, but it's going to take days or sometimes weeks to really find out what happened. So that's
the one
issue.
that landed with all them, the 60-something folks down, did they say what happened to that? Did they say?
I haven't been on it. I have no idea. I haven't looked for it.
Okay, so we're going to have to go back and revisit.
Right,
I feel like as we're doing this right now that all pilots should be required to take a course or something right now. Just to make sure that everybody up on their training
and
everything.
They'd have to
Just
recertify every year.
Yeah, they do.
But it might not be the pilot's
It
fault.
might not be, but you can never be too cautious.
For sure.
Something. Well, if it ain't the pilot fault, then it's somebody in that, what is it called, a comptroller room or whatever room the people that's on the ground that help direct the planes.
And sometimes it's not a fault. It's a bad weather condition. It is
Like,
God and Mother Nature is
correct.
A slippery runway or some lightning or thunder or enough turbulence to just
throw you off
really
track.
throw it off. Sometimes it's nobody's fault. I
Absolutely.
know, and we're programmed to. We got to make sure it's somebody's fault.
Somebody got to take.
Not you saying that. I'm just saying
it's just the reasoning behind it.
Right,
so whether it is the weather, say that. It's just a freak accident, say that.
I think at this point that it would be a very big coincidence if all of those were weather accidents.
Well, I know the one for Toronto, they were saying that the flying conditions wasn't normal for landing, whatever the case may be, and then that the pilot would have really it's not. It would have been a difficult land, but it was not an impossible land, is what they were saying. So then that would go back to me and my understanding, just with that little bit of explanation that they've put out there thus far, would be to what extent of the training was it?
Right. I just
with that particular person.
I just feel like as a civilian, like my dad said, our human intuition is going to try to find something to correlate X to
why it
Y,
happened.
cause to effect, but sometimes, like I said with the government, man, there's some stuff we just not gonna know. It's just gonna be a bunch of stuff that we're gonna try to figure out. We're just not supposed to know. They're not gonna let us know what's going on.
I mean,
you're right.
And the part is to be human is to err.
For sure.
As long as humans are flying or operating something, something's gonna happen that's not good because no one's perfect, right? So, but there's accountability that has to be held. To your point, Mata, that some
Mata.
That's how they know
But
you.
go ahead.
That's how they,
You
I
introduce
am
yourself
model.
as
I
model.
That was a shock.
I also was shocked, but
only the women are shocked. Okay,
Me
keep
too.
going.
Right. So,
Okay,
I just forgot what I was saying. I don't even know what I was
To
talking
my
about.
point,
But yeah, accountability has to be held, and if there is a lack of training, that should be uncovered. It should be uncovered because even in doctors' offices, there's malpractice. There's people that do things wrong, even though they're experts. But we still got to find out why.
So Coach said I read something about the cutting up aviation personnel after this last guy.
We were going to get there, Coach J. You know that conversation was leading
guy
there.
got in office. Have you heard anything about that? Not sure if that was real or not. No, that is some of the talking points. Like, we don't know, like, fact by fact what is going on, but there are speaking points that have been thrown out there. And there are a lot of cuts from, like you said, the aviation personnel with government positions and things like that. And then that is the cause and effect. And that's what I'm saying, that what needs to be discussed, because it's not necessarily a person to blame, or maybe it is, but we know that there's a cause and there's an effect with what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've all heard that there were some positions in aviation that were let go of. Some of which may have been DEI hires, comptrollers included, in certain positions that are no longer there. And it's coincidental that there's some incidents starting to happen since. So I think there may be a correlation there. I'm pretty sure.
And we got another comment from Ricky Spivey. He said, "Rice Man, what's good? I think somebody's trying to send a message using planes."
Rick, I agree, bro. I mean, and sometimes you hear these conspiracy theories like we do it to ourselves. There's some things that you hear people saying that we do it to push an agenda or to gain traction on something like that. Man, I hope that's not it.
Yeah. Me too, because
not.
people are losing their lives.
Yeah.
That's all this AI stuff, and these people trying to come to America and do all this and all these threats.
Very well could be.
So my thing is, y'all, who flying? I ain't flying nowhere. Not until I get some solid explanations.
If I had
this one newscast person said, "Well, I'm in Japan, so I'm flying. My plane leaves tonight."
It's not like you just.
I mean, I'm not saying it's the end of the world. It ain't like our family fly a lot, anyways. So it's just not like, to me, I feel like now is not the time to start. Is what I'm saying. Now for people, for them people who out there and they live in the Vida Loca and they taking a trip every month, every other month, whatever, do your thing. I'm just saying, me personally,
is higher than ours.
I'm just saying personally, I don't fly a lot anyways, and now ain't the time I'm gonna start.
I'm gonna say if I had to fly, I would. Would I probably take a trip right now to where? Just because I want to go somewhere, would it be somewhere where I get on a plane? No. But if I had to get somewhere and I had to be there, I'm getting on the plane.
But shout out to the phrase "living La Vida Loca" right now. I just want to shout that out.
What? Y'all being so random and silly today.
I know. Hey. You said they're out there living La Vida Loca. I was just like, man, that's a good one. That's a nice throwback.
But I feel like if I got on planes all the time and they feel like they get on planes and all the planes safe that they get on, I probably would still get on them too.
It's an accident.
Correct.
Accidents happen.
Because
some are accidents, some are intentional.
Because they're like, okay,
we got to find out which is which.
You get in a car every day.
But honestly, I don't think none of these are intentional. I don't think that people would try to kill themselves. I will hope not. Along with a whole bunch of.
No, I don't think anybody on the plane probably tried to kill themselves.
I'm talking about like as far as the pilot.
But there's sabotage. Some people can sabotage things on the planes and the maintenance crew. They can not screw something. They can leave something out. They can do this. And it says pass the inspection and let's go.
And it,
So it's like a lack of actually checking and seeing what's going on.
Or omitting something on purpose.
Yeah. It might not be a lack
or the person that did that job is no longer there involuntarily. Okay, next subject.
Okay, it's my subject. I just want to say, because if y'all are on TikTok and y'all are my age, then y'all know who Queen and Clarence are. They're YouTubers. Yeah. So they have been together for a long time and they have a baby.
What's a long time?
Like I don't know exactly how long. A long time for people to be questioning. Y'all been together this long. You're going to be a girlfriend forever. And he hasn't proposed to you, and it doesn't take that long for someone to know if they want to spend the rest of their life with you. So my question is, how long is too long to stay in girlfriend boyfriend status before you decide, or before if you're ready to move on? Like, would you be a girlfriend for 20 years, or do you think that a man should have had his mind together by then, whether he wants to spend the rest of his life with you or not?
I got multiple things.
I don't. It depends, because a lot of that stuff can be mutual. I mean, I talked to a girl for like 4 years. I didn't date her. We just talked. I didn't want her to be my girlfriend. She didn't want to be my. I mean, yeah. But to say that is that just comes with a lot of responsibility. I mean, since I'm not your boyfriend, I can do anything I want.
I'm saying these people were dating.
But they weren't dating. That's the point, though.
They weren't dating. That's not
the point. Is they're dating. They have been dating this whole time.
That's different.
Okay,
so they are already dating
and have babies
and have a baby.
That's on them, because that's a conversation. If they've been dating this long and the woman's been okay with it,
okay.
Then I feel like that's a conversation.
I was kind of gonna go there.
Let Maria go first.
I was gonna say, well, first, I feel like at that point, like, neither of them just want to make that commitment or feel like it's a necessary commitment.
Yeah.
Like, they just feel like being together is enough. But also, too, though, I know people who were married for like 30 plus years and decided that they didn't want each other. So that kind of just brings me back to the, like, it's not necessarily, like, I don't know, like, it's like an everyday choice. So, like, at that point, if you've already been together for that long, like, they just may not see it necessary to get married.
How old are they?
If that makes sense.
So I believe they're like late 20s.
Okay. This generation's perspective on marriage is always 100% misconstrued.
It is.
Wait,
it's been like that for a while.
How
I said they've been dating for a long time, but they're like, I don't know, late 20s.
So they was sure. So then they probably would have said the same thing about me and Marla then. Because we started dating when we were 16 and I was 16 and I didn't get married to 21.
They wouldn't have said the same thing. Y'all can't get married at 16. Nobody was going to say that. But these people weren't children. They were fully grown adults from like 20 something, 21 to 30 almost.
But that's why when I asked how long, and then Mackenzie asked how old they were, you said they like 20.
That's still a long time.
I just said
from
that.
20 to late 20s, early 30s.
Away from
that's
the
like 10
years. The question is how long.
I'm just saying that to say that
it's long enough.
They can be dating forever, because our generation doesn't take marriage seriously.
They don't see it as like a necessary.
It's lost its meaning and value. Marriage is just,
or it's just a baggage.
If we have a kid and live together, what's the point of being married?
But who's questioning it? Are they questioning it? Or
no, other people are questioning it, because she has expressed that she wanted to be married before.
Okay.
And he's just like, oh, okay.
Marlon's sitting to bring it on home.
I'm just saying, the answer to the question is until you're comfortable.
Right.
Until you feel like this is it. And I know a lot of women are in relationships with guys for a long time, and we're asking how long is long enough or whatever, because a lot of them are waiting for the guy to ask.
Right.
And because they're not going to ask. But for men, it's so much different, because we have to be comfortable enough that we know when it goes sideways, are you ready to lose half of your stuff? That's different than what women go through. Mm-hmm. And yes, there are times when a woman makes so much more than a man that she has to pay something. That is odd, and it doesn't happen often. A man has to be sure that, man, is this girl with me for me? Is she with me for what she can get from me? Will she tuck tail and run and sign of first trouble along with half my stuff? We are the ones that have to give it up when it's time to go to court. So we need to be sure. And we need to make sure that woman is the one. Go ahead and you took
No,
the deep
Uh-uh.
breath.
Oh, wait, well, we have a comment. We have a
What
comment.
say about that.
We have a comment. So Ron McCrae, you are absolutely correct. He says people nowadays are ready for the wedding, but not the marriage. That is a good one.
Yeah, and I just think no one is really ready for marriage until you get married. You just don't know
But-
what it
Well,
entails.
you know in your mind, as far as do you know the ups and downs and what's going to go in marriage?
not.
No, but do you know if this is the person that I want to
Yes.
right now commit to on that level?
And go through it.
Then
Go
then
through it all
you
with.
do know that.
You know if you love them, but
Yes,
the part is loving them is great. Are
Right.
y'all compatible? We had this conversation.
Right,
Yeah.
right, for sure.
You're compatible with a lot. Well, you love a lot of people,
Yeah.
but is it going to work? Because how are your ideas the same? Where you going the same? What you've been through the same culturally, or is it the same? How can you got to be able to move in the
That's
same
why I
way?
said commit. I ain't say love. I
And-
said commit.
And I will take that a different way from what Dad was saying, but because I don't know, just for me, if I feel like I'm dating this person, we've been dating for 11 years, and I done made them feel comfortable, and I haven't pushed them to, okay, are we talking marriage? Where are we going? Are we staying stagnant in this place? If you don't ever bring that up, I feel like he not gonna bring it up neither. You're just gonna be like, okay, we good right here where we at. We got a baby, we got a house together, we got bills together, and we perfectly fine. She ain't pushing the issue, I'm not pushing the issue. So sometimes if you bring it up, you can throw the hint out there. I'm not finna be nobody's girlfriend for 20 years. What
Right.
am I? What?
Right.
So here's the thing: everybody don't value marriage the same.
Absolutely.
So if you and like Marlon said, we've had these type of conversations on the show before. So I feel like in dating, that needs to be like topic of discussion in the very beginning.
Absolutely.
It don't
Are
need
we
to wait
dating
to
to marry?
get it don't need to get to the 11-year mark.
Absolutely.
It need to be had up front. I'm not like up front, are you gonna marry me?
Yeah,
Not
but
that
just
type of
your
stuff.
thoughts of
But
the-
yeah,
Well,
but,
like, what are your
what do you
desires?
think about
Right,
marriage? What do
yeah.
you think about commitment? What do you think about this? And then that would let you know if your commitments is not the way their commitments are. Do you need to waste 11 years of your life with that person when you know you want to go to that next level and that person doesn't?
Now, I will say, don't be with your boyfriend pushing him to try to marry you, and y'all have spoke about it, because if that's what y'all spoke about and y'all have plans, y'all should move at the pace that works for y'all. But it's just the thing of we just gonna sit here. We haven't talked about it. We just in the dark about it. I don't know how you feel about marriage. You don't know how I feel about marriage. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If y'all have had the conversations about it and y'all are moving towards that, and y'all been dating for 6 or 7 years and y'all aren't ready yet, and that's something that y'all's relationship has a pace about, and y'all have open communication about that, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
it goes
saying,
back
just
to what your dad
sitting there.
Let's go back to what your dad was saying. People know when they're ready to go to that next step. But my thing is knowing if you're ready to go to that next step. Is that a next step for you to even get to?
Right.
Absolutely.
You have to know that up front.
Right. I just think that people have seen in this generation and just the past generation so many failed marriages.
Yes.
Correct.
That's true.
It's on
That
the top page.
and they're scary. And the age of social media, everybody's saying, F that B and F him and get your bag first, get your bag. Everybody's trying to get to the bag. Everybody
Right.
social media is ruining everybody. Everybody trying to be like everybody else. And then you look around and you see marriages ending divorce.
Right.
Then you're like, whoa, like, and do I really want to try my hand at this? Because it takes a different type of,
Absolutely.
just everything. Take a different type of mindset to try to stay married.
Because when
And
you're
it's
married,
harder. And people take the easy way out.
That's where I was
it's so
going.
easy to just say,
Yes.
so whatever, I give me another one or I move on. But, compromise is something that nobody wants to do anymore. Everybody wants it their way. And if they can't have it their way, they pout, they get mad, and they run. That's just
and then when you're married, and obviously these people love each other long enough to be in a lasting relationship that long, and for whoever this couple is, if they are not pressing the issue, I will not allow anybody outside to press the issue for me, because obviously they're comfortable where they are in their relationship. But what I will say is, and I was going to lead with, You know, a lot of times you have to say I do every single day.
Yeah.
It ain't just the day of the wedding. It's every single day you have to say I do. Because when you're living with someone, when you truly become one with someone, you see things more than what you just saw in the dating stage.
Sure.
You see the good, the bad, the ugly. You see all of it. So you have to be willing to say I do every single day. And obviously, if this couple has been together for that long, they, even without being married, they're saying I do to each other every single day. So they need to protect what they have until they're both ready to go to the next step, and do not allow anybody's ideas to mess up what they have right now.
Absolutely. I agree with that, just because, like, if she didn't want to be with him, she wouldn't be with him. I feel like a lot of times people who don't have their own relationship, and that's gonna sound so bad, they fixate on other people's relationships. Absolutely. And they try to nitpick every single little thing, and it's just like, why aren't you married yet? Like the people who be like, oh, he not like who's LMA and Jason Tatum? Jason Tatum. They were like, somebody said that he was so lucky to have her, and somebody was like, yeah, she's not lucky to have him. She got knocked up and he doesn't have to commit to her. And those are miserable people, I really think.
Like, well, they lucky to have each other. It's just the fact that one person or the next. Your dad said it perfectly. Social media and all this inside scoop to everybody's private life, every move, is messing people up. Who are you to say who's lucky to have one another? You're not even in that relationship. Yeah, right. So the thing is, she's lucky to have him. He's lucky to have her. They chose each other. They didn't choose this person over to on the sideline cheering. That's what you go to the basketball game for. Cheer for him on the sideline when he's shooting the ball in the hoop.
My thing is why are people like holding people to their own standard?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like you are having everybody and taking them and putting them all at this top tier. Yeah. And literally, it's only because you think that that's the correct way to do things.
Yeah. So, because it's easy. It's easy to stand on the outside and look in and say what you would do. Yeah. Or what they should do. Yeah. Because you're sitting here on the sideline narrating somebody else's life. And it's easy to point holes at their lives. And then I think Morgan said it, you know, it's a lot of people, it comes from a miserable place, whether it's a failed relationship, whether it's a relationship that they just can get, whether it's something you want him and you can't have him, or vice versa, you want her and you can't have him. Everything. So now you just nitpicking, trying to tear that relationship down. Or it could be just the fact that they just have a good relationship.
Or it can be the obvious, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
But it's obvious.
A lot of people are in a place where they meet somebody, they got time, they don't have anything going on, you don't have anything going on, so let's waste time together.
Yeah.
And let's waste time together. But it also leads to this right here. When are you going to let somebody rent you for as long as they want to rent you? And second is, a lot of times people are together for a long time and don't get married for one obvious reason. They are waiting for something else better to come along. Yeah. They like you and everything. You're great. But it's not quite my idea or your idea of what you really want in your head. And you're hoping or waiting for something better to come along. Yeah. And if you're still there after 11 years, like, I'll settle for what I got because nothing has better come along. So you just got to be honest with yourself. If somebody, y'all love each other, this person claims that they love you, they adore you, you're all they want.
That's what commitment come in.
Right. But they don't want to pull the trigger. They may be holding out for something that they really want.
That's true, because that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be a girlfriend for that long. And I know it's like you can't dictate when someone is going to propose to you. But then at the same time, it's like, if I'm just letting you, first of all, you shouldn't be doing what husband or wives are doing if you're girlfriend and boyfriend, because that would make them.
But they adults, so they go.
I'm not even talking about just that.
Biblically, you just shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't.
But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about moving in together, doing all this stuff, because now I have nothing to look forward to. I have nothing to
even on that level. They still adults.
I know. Yeah, but I know that. I'm just trying to say now I have nothing to look forward to getting married to you for. We're already doing everything.
You already bought
basically we married but no ring. That's
Because
it. We're already
like-
married.
And I feel like that's why the Bible puts so much emphasis on not shacking up and saving yourself for your partner for marriage. Because once that, we talked about this again, like once that spark gone, it's gone.
Right.
And I don't want it no more.
Right. If we're living together, I'm hitting it. We going everywhere. We doing this. We
got a
You know,
family.
you set that
we
standard.
share, we're sharing the
standard.
bills together. It's like the kid said, what else?
The honeymoon
We
is
already
gonna
got a
be
family.
the honeymoon is gonna be a vacation.
Right.
Yeah, we
That-
already got a family. We got 3 kids.
So
we
now
doing
we're
this.
just gonna add a piece of paper to what we've already been doing.
Yep.
That'll make it, if we ever decide to get away, it make it hard to
Harder
split.
to get away.
But see, but then my thing is, why are you even thinking about getting away before you even get married? That's the thing that leads me to what you just said.
That's
you're
what you've
waiting.
seen.
You're right, but I'm having a conversation that leads me to what you just said, that you are waiting for something better to
That's
come
right.
along. Because if
Absolutely.
you're already thinking of an exit plan before y'all even say I do, then you don't want to be
You
there
wasn't
no
trying
way.
to stay anyways.
Yeah, and
You're
honestly
not there
too,
for commitment.
another thing I feel like their boyfriend and girlfriend too, and they got kids too. They probably got separate bank accounts. That financial situation get real when you get married.
Oh, that piece of paper is everything.
Yeah, once you get that paper and start sharing money at bank accounts, that stuff get
'cause
real.
everything-
And co-signing and
Yeah,
stuff.
because
And growing together
I don't spend money like how she spend money, and she don't spend money like how I spend money. So if we gotta spend money on something that she don't want to and I do, or vice versa, it can get a little tough. It can get a little sticky. You know?
Yeah,
what I'm
Ron said, and then you bring a child into the mix, so that's an
Right.
extra layer of complexity. Because like the Georgia law, I don't know about anybody else's law, but I think Georgia law, and it may have changed, I don't know. But once you're married, like whatever you had prior to marriage, okay, that's y'all's. But separately. But once you get married and you start building together, it now is ours. And I don't care if Marlon go over here and he build a business, or I'm over here and I build a business, and it's my business. But because I built it in our marriage, it's ours.
Unless a prenuptial agreement is signed. Yes.
Right.
I was gonna go into that as well. Do y'all believe in prenups?
I think there are situations that they are.
There are
applicable.
situations out.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, some situations.
For me personally, I believe in prenups, but I also feel like if I'm not trying to marry you for your money, I don't have no problem signing a prenup. But if in event something does happen, now you out with, I'm sure that you get some portion, or that was in y'all's agreement, but it's just kind of like some people get upset because they're like, if something does happen, you don't want me to get anything.
Well, the fact of the matter is,
I
I think with prenups, it goes for people that's already established.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
not
what it is.
not in a situation where you're growing together and you're building together.
Something
You
you
still
already
can
have.
build together once you get married. But if you're already established individually
came
and
with
now
a
you're coming
business,
into a marriage,
Yeah.
now of course they're gonna want to protect assets. Now, and because prenups can always be revisited if they
For
get
sure.
because I think Janet Jackson and her husband had a prenup. They had like so many years that they had to be married, and then she had to have a baby, and then something. Then it will release so much income to her.
Yeah.
And as soon as that prenup was about up, she dipped on out of there. But those are the reasons for the prenups, because it's people that's already very well established.
Absolutely.
It's really for like business
Prenuptial
owners,
agreements are
It's a contract,
to
just like a
prevent,
wedding.
like that's it, to prevent
another payment.
if you
The
want
gold-
me
the gold
only
digger
for my
clause.
money. Yeah, basically,
That part.
if you want me only for my money, now we finna see, because
You ain't getting
you ain't getting none.
Right.
for sure.
And it's just another thing about the marriages. You know,
I'm gonna die. Right
people are always looking for the
No, you did.
the next new high.
Yeah.
Like when you first meet somebody, it's all new and you're excited. You love them, you love them, you love them,
That
you love them.
puppy love
and
and
all
all
of a
that.
sudden, when you get into a marriage, that part is going to subside, and now it's just about coexisting and growth. So when the newness has worn off and you're together, if you're not growing and going towards something to have a goal you're trying to reach, if you're just living
Yeah.
with
for
no
sure.
goals and the newness is gone, it get tough for a lot of people.
Right.
and they don't know how to manage that. Now, when a new person come, they're brand new and they're new again, and now you're talking to them on the phone and everything's brand new and all this type of stuff. So a lot of people, like people who get high, they're looking for the next big high. They're looking for the next high, trying to recreate that high, the next drug.
So you'll never be with nobody.
And a lot of people don't know how to stay married, and kind of be in a relationship and keep pushing the boundaries of your relationship, or pushing to success, or pushing toward a goal of buying a house or starting a business. That's what keeps marriage continually progressing. And if you're not progressing, you're done.
And you find new ways to challenge each other. Because, I mean, I don't feel like necessarily, I still love you like I loved you when I was 16 years old. That love has not gone away. If anything, it's grown. Right. And your love, it grows and it matures. Mm-hmm. To me, I feel like all that new giddiness, that's puppy love. Your love matures over the years. You know, you have battle wounds. You have all these different things that mold and shape your relationship. It shapes you two as a couple and you individually. And I feel like as you guys are on a journey and we are on a journey together, you know, that love continuously evolve. Right. Like I said something to my husband the other night. I was like, you know, it's a lot of things that we've experienced together, a lot of trips that we've been on lately. And I'm like, and I told him I'm happy that I had, you know, an opportunity to experience those things with him. Oh, and he, right. And then he was like, well, we have many more to experience together. Mm-hmm. So it ain't just like that. It grows and it changes and it matures.
And I want to say something about that. I feel like as a newlywed, you just have to keep it exciting. You have to keep it exciting. You can't just gas out on all the love, what they call love bombing. You can't just gas out right then and there. When you get married, you do all this right there, flowers every day, flowers every day, flowers every day. And when you get tired of that, you know, it's like, okay, I'm expecting this from you now. Yeah. And if you get tired and switch up on me, then, you know, the love ain't the same because you're not buying me flowers and roses and massaging my feet.
Okay, so
and
not
buying me dogs
unrealistic.
So just I would say, you have to keep it exciting. Like one day of the month, like, I'm like, hey, Marielle, let's go on a trip. You know, let's go out of town. Let's do something.
Right. Even
next couple weeks, it'll be like chill day, work, dog, eat, sleep, podcast, and boom, hey, let's go do this. Let's go to Roof Chris.
I feel like a lot of times too, though, like especially now in this age, that so many people are so materialistic. Yeah. And so like love bombing is like about that materialistic like satisfaction, and like you have to be consistent. Like you have to like, that doesn't mean that there aren't physical things that you know add into the relationship, such as flowers and things like that, but it has to be like a consistent growth in your love towards each other.
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of times what's keeping me excited is like how I was saying, the growth. Like you with somebody just to be settled and just don't want to do anything, you there, you're wasting time together. I feel like that's my excitement, knowing that we finna get to this place. So I feel like that's kind of exciting.
I was gonna say we have to, like, one thing that we started doing when we were dating is whenever we would go out to eat, we would pull up these like questions, and like they were like basic questions, like what is your favorite color? Yeah, what was your favorite color in third grade? Like, just so that way we could get to know each other, because there are times where it's like
a lot of times people get in it, they just jump into it. They don't know who you dating. You don't know who you don't know who you married. You don't know who you
or dating. You don't want to continue to get to know somebody. You just want to grow based off of what y'all are making
every day. So.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because if she asked me what my favorite color is, and I'd be like, I don't know. Or if I ask her, hey, you know my favorite color? She's like, no, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of.
But no, it's good you do that, because in hearing the word growth, you know, there are in times in relationship that you as a person, you change. So my favorite color can be purple when I was dating at 16 years old, and today it can be yellow. So, and you're thinking to you, but you're thinking of the initial
16-year-old
the initial thing of what it was. But then, you know, like your dad was saying, you grow, you set goals, you do things together, and that all that stuff evolve and it change, and you just have to get to know each other all over again and say yes every day, like I said in the beginning.
I'm a true believer that, you know, love hurts. Love hurts. One of my favorite football players is Jalen Hurts, and he always says love hurts because his last name is Hurts. But really, love does hurt. you know, because I'm willing to go to whatever extent I have to go to because my love for Marielle is so big. You know, I'm willing to get shot in the spine, jump off a plane, get in a car crash, jump out of a building, try to catch her. Like, it hurts. You know, it hurts when we get in arguments sometimes, conversations and all that stuff. It hurts. You know, it does hurt. You know, love ain't just picture,
sunshine and rainbows,
yeah, flowers and all that. It's not always like that. Once you really with somebody for them, like it's, you know, it can get tough. But that love, that I feel like that keeps you there. That compatibility, we talked about this too. You know, that's right. That can keep you there. So,
but it's interesting because I know that Marielle's segment or segue was the what is it called? Love bombing. And when you constantly are doing stuff like every single day or in a certain pattern to woo someone, and then that is not what you can do like on an everyday basis,
yeah,
or whatever the case may be. So now you set false expectations,
right.
And so now this person is going to be looking for this, and then that may be that person's love language. That person's love language may be getting flowers, and you're showering them with all these flowers and all these gifts and all this stuff, and then when finances shift or things change, or you know you want to dial it back some. Now she's gonna feel some kind of way because she felt like that was the way that you were showing her affection, right. And not to say that this y'all, but just in a scenario based.
Every day, Valentine's Day.
But I'm saying that to say is just make sure you just set the correct standard in the beginning, so that you won't be just having person expecting this one thing and then it all of a sudden shift.
Well, I mean, you can try to set the standard, but you're gonna be different at first than you want to end up. I mean, you know, you can give all the flowers and stuff and say I'm gonna continue it. You can't.
No.
Yeah. See, now I know, like a lot of people say, well, we do the same thing we did when we first got together. Say, how long y'all been together? They say 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We've been together for 34 years. Ooh. There's gonna be some times when it ain't as live as it used to be, or you know, we're not flowering, and
that's true.
It ain't Valentine's Day every day, but we have other things. We have equity in our relationship. We have love equity in our relationship. You know, we put so much in, and I ain't letting it go for nothing. You know what I'm saying? It'll take. I just don't even know what it could take to make me leave my wife or my wife leave me. Like, I feel like we've weathered all of that. We've been through that, and she is the person that if I'm gonna waste time, I'm gonna waste time with her. If I'm gonna watch TV, I'd rather watch it with her. If I rather go on a trip with anybody in the world, it's gonna be her. If I want to buy a new house or move to another something or open up a business, it is going to be with her because that is who I'm spending the rest of my life with. So sometimes, you know, the excitement part, it ain't exciting all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you just gotta.
That's I'm sorry, Mackenzie, but that's really, really good because I think that's the part, like you said, people don't see marriages that work, and people see superficial marriages, or they see the side of marriage that
is on social media
that they want you to see. That they want you to see the flowers, the cars, the houses, the things, you know, all the things that they feel like, okay, well, this is because I see a lot of comments. If my man ain't doing it like this, he ain't coming. Or if my wife ain't doing like this, she ain't doing it. But you're seeing that moment. You seeing that one moment. You not seeing all of the other stuff that husband and that wife or that couple have weathered together. So I can say, like, all those things that you said, it goes right back to him because it's just the same. Because, like he said, it's so much in a real relationship. You're going to weather a lot of things together, and that's how you know that. Yeah. That is your person.
Right.
For sure.
That's how you know that.
Go ahead, Dad.
No, I'm just saying, I was just going to co-sign on that. You know, a lot of times when you've been together long enough and you have the right perspective on marriage, you went through marriage counseling, you talk to people that are married and have been married for a long time. You understand it a little bit better. If my wife is not doing some of the things she used to, I know it's not out of a lack of love, or if I'm not doing something that I used to, I know it's not. I know she might be tired. She works like I do. Right. You got to accept the fact that sometimes things are going on. Health may be, not the same. You might not be feeling well. You just might be tired. You might be working overtime. You might be doing a lot of things that you have to know your partner. That's not a lack of love,
Right.
or a lack of respect,
Right.
or a lack of everything. Then you start looking introspective and saying, "Hey, I'm not doing the stuff I used to do. Let me pick my stuff up." And I can't allow. It can't be. It just like I'm doing what I'm doing only because she's doing what she's doing. If she's doing great things and I feel excited, I'm gonna do great things for her.
That's good.
You got to do great things for your partner because you want to do them, not because what they're doing for you.
Yes.
But that's because that's how I treat my woman, or that's how she treats her man. So it can't be like I'm gonna be good to her if she's good to me, or something like that. It can't be conditional.
I also wanted to just say, when you do something over and over and over again, it's not special anymore. Like we live, well, I can say we live near a city, a big city. Now a popular city. Now we go there. It's an hour up the road. We go there. We go there. We go there. Now when I hear people, let's go here, it's not fun anymore. Like I've been there. I just didn't want to,
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. We don't want to go to Atlanta no more. I don't want to go there no more. We've been there so long, so many times. It's not a vacation for us to go to Atlanta no more because we're so used to it now. If I'm used to getting flowers every day, then when you get flowers for me, I start to expect that it's not special anymore because I know that's what's coming. Okay, I'm gonna get flowers today. It becomes routine, and it doesn't become like, oh, thank you. Oh, it's such a special thing. So I just feel like you have to keep it spontaneous.
Like we kind of talked about earlier. That's more like the dating aspect.
Well, yeah, I'm dating. Y'all are married.
I'm trying to reel you in. I'm trying to win your heart and win your love. But now we married. After the honeymoon, I was like, okay, I got you, man. You stay. I mean, like real talk. I love you forever though. Like I'll be surprised.
Okay, but he was like that even before we.
I'm laughing because that's
real. Once I got her, she said, I do.
All right.
You may kiss the bride. It's over.
All right. I'm glad that you said that.
I got you.
Because we have a question in chat from Ronald McCrae. He says, question, do y'all think people can become trapped in marriage and complacency? Yes.
100%.
Yeah. I do think so. Because I think if you're in a marriage and God is not the center of your marriage and y'all aren't going anywhere and y'all are staying stagnant and y'all are not pushing each other to go anywhere, y'all are not trying, y'all are just there. I think so. I think you can become trapped because this is my life. This is what I'm used to now. So now I don't want to get uncomfortable with going back, to this. But sometimes I think it may be best for some people to go their separate ways. And I think a lot of times people also use their children to stay in marriages because I've seen it happen. And I just think sometimes it's best to go your separate ways and each person be happy or find their happiness. And then like in the case of a child, that the child has each parent happy rather than each parent in the household fighting all the time, because that's not good for the child either. Like I know people who their parents stayed together and slept in different rooms just because they wanted to keep the family dynamic together. Did it help them as a teenager? And I know them as a young adult now, they say, I just wish my parents would have went ahead and divorced because they're so unhappy. And then, it's just like you think that you're doing the right thing at first, but then you're making yourself and everyone around you miserable.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why when you clearly define the roles of marriage biblically, it's easier to stay in a marriage.
Absolutely.
But when you're fighting over who's going to be happy,
freestyle.
It got to be me. What about me? What about me? What about me? If the roles aren't clearly defined, you're going to have tug of war. You're going to have a tug of war. Who's going to be happy? And I think that's something that has to be discussed before marriage. These things have to be discussed. Okay. Do you look at me like the head of our household? Yes or no? All these type of things.
Sure.
What's your role? What's going to happen if I get my dream job and it's in Seattle? And you have your meeting here. You have something here. What do? Are you coming with me? Or what are we gonna do? So a lot of those things, those kind of situations, you have to go through them and say, hey, what are we gonna do if this happens?
For sure.
And I know you can't account for everything. It's no way. It's sometimes. Sometimes people do grow different roads, but somebody's going to have to compromise if you want to keep the marriage.
If I get my dream job, you ain't got to work.
The Ron McCrae also said the old cliches, it's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah, for men it is a lot of times.
For definitely for men, I can definitely see that from a man perspective. But going back to the original question, as far as being trapped, I think being trapped is a state of mind. A lot of times, I feel like people get complacent. And they are
complacency.
Yeah, and like Marlon was saying in the beginning, people look for that newness and they look for that excitement, and they feel that it's not there. But my thing is, what are you doing to keep the marriage alive? What are you doing, like Marlon was saying, to grow the marriage? What are you setting goals? Yeah. Because marriage is a journey. It's not a place.
Yeah.
You're constantly going to be moving in marriage. Right. And if you get in marriage and you feel like you just, okay, this is it, and we go sit still at this one place called marriage, you are going to be complacent and you are going to feel trapped. You have to find ways to continue to culture your marriage, to continue to nurture your marriage. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like a way to do that is, I talk to God more than Marielle. I talk to God about Marielle, about what I can do for Marielle, what I can do with Marielle. I feel like it's a triangle. It's me, Marielle, God at the center. We both going to God. 100%. It can't be me, God, and then Marielle. You know what I'm saying? We both have to be going upward. We both have to have the same goal, the same focus. Direction. I feel like God has to be right here. It can't be me, Marielle, then God on the side. He has to be in the middle of everything we do. And everything. So I feel like that keeps it exciting, because I pray every day, how can I be a better version of myself, this type of person to Marielle, what I can do. I have that relationship with God. So you have to have a spiritual relationship. You have to have one. So.
Just to clarify that, because when I first heard it, when he said I talk to God, I know that what you were trying to say is I talk to God more than I talk to Marielle, instead of I talk to God more than she talked to God.
Yeah, I talk to God more than I talk to Marielle.
Yes, that's how I came across at first, and I saw Dad's face.
Yeah, I saw it too. I just had to keep going.
So just to clarify, that's what you meant.
You have to have a relationship with God as well.
Yes.
Well, I think too, it gets, especially in life, it gets really easy to place the blame on somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And your partner is the one that you normally place that blame on.
If you are one, it is not us against each other. It's us against whatever, Satan's throwing at us, or like whatever we're going through. Like, it's not like you and me against whatever. It's us. Like, we are one.
That's
and I
true.
think too, like, whenever you are able to place that blame on the other, it gets real easy to build up that wall and really just shut yourself out and then grow apart.
Right. And I like Marielle just said, if you are a spiritual person, you have to know when it's Satan throwing arrows at your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to know that if you split and break down, he wins.
Yes.
And he's saying, I got another one. But if you can see him and you can look at your partner and say, babe, we're under attack right now, right? This ain't us.
Yeah.
This ain't us. This is supernatural. They're coming at us. They're trying to break up something that's special because we have a mantle. We have something we have to get to. People are looking at us and saying, that's how I want to be. When Satan sees that, he's saying, if I can break that up, I'll ruin it for 10 people. If I break one, I'll ruin it for 10 or 100 or 200.
And that's bad, man.
So
or the next generation.
when if you're spiritual, when you're under attack, and Satan knows that the best way is to end the family construct, you'll fight harder to keep it.
Oh yeah.
I also think, just like in relationships in general, because I can't speak on a marriage, but when someone's expressing their feelings, sometimes I feel like we hop on defense when the other person is expressing their feelings.
Absolutely.
And it's not necessarily to throw shots at you or to make you feel bad. This is how I felt. And I feel like a lot of times when that happens, when one person is always hopping on defense or the other person is hopping on defense, then it creates a tiff in the communication, because it's like, if I say how I feel, you're just going to run and be upset. And that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to be open about how I felt. So I think that sometimes we hop on defense more than we should, instead of, or just even, this is how you made me feel, and now I'm mad at you for how I made you feel. Like, how does that even work? It's just like, we don't know. A lot of people don't know how to take, constructive criticism or what could be better, because you're always going to have something that you could do better. You're always going to have something that you and your partner are never going to be the same person. Y'all never going to have the same mindset. Yeah. Another thing is, if you feel some type of way, instead of just letting it roll on and adding more things into it that it wasn't even at first, you have to make yourself available for your partner to talk to you.
Right.
And how they feel. We have to sit here. We have to have this conversation, because now I know that if this made me mad and I'm not able to get it off my chest, then every other little thing you do is going to start making me more and more upset. And it's going to blow up into this big thing, whether if I just didn't feel like I could approach you and say, this is how I felt. So we have to make ourselves easily approachable and not always hop on the defense in a relationship, because that definitely could cause a lot of problems.
Right. And I think the big piece is, people that are wanting to get married need to hear from people that are successfully long-term married. Yeah. Because there are differences between men and women. Yeah. And I think people just don't realize that, or don't know it. Well, the old people just say, look, that's how it is. Or your old granddad would say, that's how women are. When you come home, ask her about a day, let her get it all out, do this, listen to her, and then move on. But now people don't want to listen or move on. And your grandmother would say, that's a man, he'd let him get his shoes kicked out before you hit him with something hard, let him get in, get him something to eat, then kind of ease it in and talk. There was wisdom in marriages back in the day that you don't see now, because who are they learning marriage from? That's the part. Yeah. They're not learning marriage from people that are married. They're learning marriage from single people. Or divorced people.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Or reality shows.
Or reality TV. So, and everybody wants what they want. Women want what they want. Men want what they want. But when a man knows what a woman really wants and needs, and a woman knows what a real man wants and needs, and they're different needs. Man needs respect. Women need love. When you learn these things and try to understand foundationally what makes a woman tick, what makes a man tick, what I'm feeling right now is not going to move him because he's not emotional like I am, and this won't move her because I'm trying to talk logically, but she's in her feelings, and how to handle a situation like that. That's where marriage counseling and wisdom comes in, and who's giving that these days? Yeah. That's the problem.
Right. Okay, I'm happy you said feelings, because we can segue into what time?
We got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We have to say that for another one.
Next time.
Well, I will say, I wanted to start doing this last podcast, and we did just the last little bit
quote
of encouraging words that you can say to the people.
Okay, so go ahead.
I don't have one. I'm thinking.
I'll go first. Okay, I'll go first. I just want to say, make sure that before you come back with a response or hop on defense, to make sure you fully analyze everyone's point of view and fully analyze that you're seeing it from a different view than another person is seeing it. So make sure you can be able to take in everybody's point of view without, harping on your side of the story, because your side might be right and their side might be right. My term, my truth. That's their truth. That's your truth. So just make sure, you're able to see everything from more than just your perspective. Okay. And I think life will be better that way.
All right, big girl. I love it. Anybody else got one?
No, just me.
I got one. It's an oldie but goodie. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to disassociate yourself from everyone. But if a thief shows you they're a thief, but they're family or something, you can still coordinate with a thief, but you don't have to let them come to your house.
Right.
I mean, there's ways to, at least I know how to handle you. You know what I'm saying? So just don't be foolish.
Absolutely.
When a person shows you who you are, who they are, believe them. It doesn't take 3 or 4 or 5 times to believe someone that's doing the same thing, over and over again. Just understand what you're dealing with. You choose whether you want to continue to deal with it or you don't. It's just that simple.
You old? You got my wisdom?
I don't have one.
She said she's not forcing it.
He said you was old. You should have wisdom.
I said older. No.
Yeah, I forgetting over there.
No, you don't have to always have something to say.
Well,
Well,
Hey, that's
I
a
got
good
one.
one.
I got that's a good one. You know, I got something to
Hey,
say.
you don't
Sometimes
always
just
got
gotta-
something to say.
Sometimes just shut the hell up. But
Yeah.
but I would say let me think. Okay, you can't help what you don't know. You know, I can't help what I don't know. So I feel like that's the communication core values. If I don't know you're going through something, I can't help you.
So
if I don't
can
know
we
you
that's
feeling,
right.
if I don't know you feeling like this, I can't help you. So
Mhm.
don't just blow up on me because I ain't help you.
And don't expect
don't
me to
know.
read your mind.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
not
Tell me.
Charles Xavier. So I can't do that. So that's why I got.
Okay. Mary, do you have one?
I just wanted to let everybody know that they are loved, seen, and known. Sometimes it's easy to feel like that, like people truly don't know who you are, or like
Right.
know your heart or know your mind. But just know that someone does.
Right. I like
Mhm.
that. Someone sees you, someone loves you. And they know. You're not by yourself. I love it.
But then I
Right.
got one,
I'm with that.
another one, I guess.
Another one.
In the wise words of Jerome Saint, just teach your man how to squabble. Man, it's too many killings.
Yeah. Oh,
It's too many
Squabble.
killings, man.
Squabble.
Yeah, man. Guns down, gloves up. That's how I feel.
Okay.
If you got to duke it out, just duke it out. Don't kill them. So
I like it.
that's what I say.
Okay. The last thing that we can get up for real, because we were talking about marriage. Just make sure that you're not a person. If you're a female, just make sure you're not a person who just wants a husband and doesn't want to be a wife. And for a male, just make sure you don't just want a wife and you want to be a husband.
Don't want to be.
Or don't want to be a husband. You know, it takes both. You have to be a husband and she has to be a wife. Don't just expect husband duties and you're not doing wife duties, and
man.
vice versa. So yeah,
Right.
That's good.
Well, y'all, we thank y'all. Man, good to hear from Ronald McCray again. Ronald, man, we miss you, bro. We know you got things to do, but it's good to hear from you. Rick Spivey, it was good to hear from you. Thank y'all for that. Coach Jack, you know we always love to hear from you.
Always,
You just there.
That's the fam.
Yeah, you part of the show. You just don't know. You don't know
That's
it's
the
here.
fam.
Yeah. So we thank y'all. We love y'all for everybody who tuned in. Until next week, we love you and we